I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
It's time for Strange Headlines.
All right. This week in the headlines, we have Florida police officer flees from mouse in CCTV footage. A security camera footage believed to have been filmed at a Florida police station shows a startled officer running in fear from a furry little burglar. The video, which went viral on social media, shows an officer walking down a hallway at what is believed to be a St. Petersburg Police Department station when he spots a mouse running across the floor. The officer jumps when startled by the rodent and runs down the hallway, appearing to make a call on his radio. I saw the footage. It's absolutely hilarious. Because he's just walking, he's a pretty big guy, and you just see this rat, mouse, whatever, come around the corner, and he jumps, and then he goes for his gun, kind of like grabs it really quick, but then doesn't unholster it, and then he goes on the radio and he runs down the hallway, and I just would love to hear the call. 1719, like, oh no, there's a mouse loose again.
17.5.
Is there a call for that? I wonder if there is a call.
You have to look for that. If there's one thing in this world that I am also afraid of, I'm not afraid of snakes. I'm not afraid of roaches.
What about snakes on a plane?
That's very implausible. But if there's just one animal that
all movies are based on true facts.
I would want to kill every single one. It'd be mice. I cannot stand those.
Really?
Freak me out.
Yeah.
If there was one in here right now, I would leave. I gotta be completely honest with you. And everybody listening.
They don't do anything though. They're mice. They're just
Nah, but they're dirty.
Then they're dirty. Yeah.
I mean, if it was a rat, maybe, but it's a mouse.
They're like the same family.
Yeah, but one's way bigger and way more disgusting.
They both probably carry the same diseases.
I'm just saying,
I just can't.
Listen, as a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
so am I.
Splinter, he was a rodent.
Yeah, but he also was 5, 6, and he could talk and did martial arts. He's the coolest rat you'll ever see in your life, and you won't see him.
How would you know? You're too scared to stick around to see what the other rats will turn into.
Nothing, because I'm not getting him hit with toxic waste.
Yeah. Next headline. 105-year-old man becomes oldest to ride a roller coaster. A British centenarian, which is, I guess, I never heard that word before, was what someone is identified if you're over 100 years old. Thrill Seeker set a world record by becoming the oldest person to ride a roller coaster. Jack Reynolds, a great-grandfather from Chesterfield, appeared on Good Morning Britain as he took the historic ride to claim the Guinness World Record for oldest person to ride a non-inversion roller coaster on his 105th birthday. Some of these world records are just insane and so specific. Like interestingly specific.
That's a record that I would hope to break. If I live to be 106, I'm going to Six Flags.
No.
Well, funny thing is, this was not his only record that he broke. In addition to claiming a record for himself, Reynolds helped raise funds for an ambulance charity serving areas such as Warwickshire, Northamptonshire, Derbyshire, and 2 other places that I cannot pronounce because they are not in this country. It's funny, though, because for what it was is from ambulance service, and this man clearly probably had an ambulance on site for fear of what could happen. Now, it was a non-inversion, so there were no twists and turns and flips, so it wasn't insane. It was just a nice little... It was a cute little video.
Okay.
This was the second time Reynolds celebrated his birthday by setting a world record, as he became the oldest person to receive their first tattoo on his 104th birthday.
Where did he get this?
I don't know. It didn't say. And I imagine that'd be kind of hard. His skin's, all wrinkly and stretched out, but they're probably like, oh, what? This is like trying to tattoo a carved turkey on Thanksgiving right now.
He'll grab his skin and stretch it out and
Oh, that's a disgusting image.
I'm going to say, this man's if it wasn't I was thinking he went on a real roller coaster. I was like, oh my God, this man's heart is amazing. I want his heart. His heart's probably better than my heart.
Yeah.
If he can do that, it's probably better than my heart.
Next up, a catfish falls out of the sky, lands in Florida couple's pool. A Florida man investigating a loud crash on his screen porch made a bizarre discovery. A catfish had fallen out of the sky into his pool, and it was still alive. Leonard Vanderpool, hey, isn't that an interesting little coincidence?
Vanderpool.
Of Winter Haven, sounds like this is from Game of
I
Thrones,
was about to say
said
that.
he and his wife were watching TV Monday night when they heard a loud crash on their screened porch. Vanderpool said he went outside to find there was a hole in the lining and a catfish in his backyard pool. Quote, I come out and there's a big hole in my screen and there's this big bullhead swimming in the water. It didn't kill him or anything. He's going crazy. The water was moving like crazy, Vanderpool told WFLA TV. He called Winter Haven police for help getting the fish out of the pool. He said it just took some work to convince the dispatcher that he wasn't joking around. I told her, you're not going to believe this, but a fish dropped out of the sky and it is in my pool. The police arrived, they helped him get him out. The fish was not injured in any way, and they said it probably fell because a bird was trying to carry it to the nest and they dropped it because when they looked at the fish, on the back of it had claw marks on it.
Oh, okay.
So he wrangled himself loose in his moment of fidgeting in the sky. And that bird was like, screw this, I'm out.
I feel like if you're those people living in that house, like you lose like all reasoning. You're just angry that there's a fish in your house. You're like, how did it get here? You just fly it here, like, like I don't know what I would have reacted. I would honestly when you were first explaining it, I would not have thought a bird would have dropped it. But like now, that is
Very, very
clearly
plausible.
the only explanation. It's not like
Yeah.
the thing sprouted wings and started flying.
right.
I think the worst part of that whole story is he probably, even if he wanted to, he probably couldn't eat that fish because it probably fell into his chlorine pool.
How funny would that be, though, if you were standing out there and just like chilling and then just out of
Fish
nowhere,
smacked you in the face.
I would be. Or you come out that morning, you're like, the hell? That wasn't there yesterday.
Smells fishy out here.
How did this fish get in here? Oh, Terrence, you're just killing me with the puns today, man.
I know, right?
Final headline. Philippine clinic uses Wolverine to sell circumcisions. A medical clinic in the Philippines is using an unusual mascot to advertise its circumcision service. Claw-bearing X-Men superhero Wolverine. The ad was really frightening to look at. The advertisement for Dion Isio M. Cornell Memorial Medical Center in Antipolo features an image of Hugh Jackman as the adamantium clawed character he played in the X-Men and Wolverine films, next to text prompting the clinic's circumcision service. The advertisement went viral after a photo was shared online by an internet blogger. The text at the bottom of the advertisement roughly translates to cheap doctor hospital. This is where you get painless circumcision, excuse me. The poster says the Forsaken Removal Service, removal service, which is probably not actually carried out by a mutant superhero with retractable claws, costs about $28. Why? Because, I mean, obviously that's what you want to see when you're taking your child or however old you are. To get that procedure done, obviously you want to see Hugh Jackman with his claws out and like, hey, we'll chop it off. And you're like, I don't want you to chop anything off. I don't want to go to you.
If I'd see that, if I was in this situation,
Nah.
I would see that.
Just no.
No, I'd walk away, just live my life.
So I'm gonna let Wolverine.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Wolverine's doing the surgery.
And then if you were in this
Nope.
situation and then you go back to have the surgery, you see Hugh Jackman going like, ha ha!
He's like,
Like a Hugh Jackman impersonator, like, all right, here we go. Just screaming like he
Just
does in all
no.
those movies.
I'm not taking my kid to do it. Just nah. We don't need it really.
Oh, God, I think that would be just the funniest thing in the world if that was the case. Some dude just dressed back there like, let's do this thing. That was Stranger Headlines. Tune in next week to find out what weird headlines were in the news next week.